Bayern Munich president Uli Hoeneß, he says, "I'm glad this nightmare is over. He's been playing crap for years. The last tackle he won was before the 2014 World Cup, and now he's hiding himself and his poor performances behind his photo. His 35 million followers, that of course do not actually exist in the real world, ensure that Özil has played exceptionally when he successfully finds his man with a square ball. When we faced Arsenal, we always played through him because we knew that he is the weak link." All right, well, Shaka, Hislop, and Stevie Nicol, of course, weren't on the shows yesterday. So, Shaka, just your reaction to this. Are you surprised by the negative reaction?
I'm very surprised. I think the comments by Uli Hoeneß are misdirected. I think intentionally so. I also think they're cowardly. And I also think that they show a total lack of understanding. Now, why I say they're misdirected? If Uli Hoeneß is right in saying that Mesut Özil has not played well in a Germany shirt for the last 2 years, then surely that's on Jürgen Löw, because he keeps picking him. You can't fault Mesut Özil if the manager calls on you and you go out there and you play and you give it your best. If that isn't good enough, it's now down to the manager. And why I say it's intentionally misdirected, it's because you can't help but feel that given Jürgen Löw's position, given all that he's accomplished for Germany with the national team, maybe, if not soon, maybe sometime soon, he will be on Bayern Munich's radar. So don't come out and overly criticize Jürgen Löw, because maybe one day we might have to play nice with Jürgen Löw, which is why I say it was intentionally misdirected. I also think it smacked of a lack of understanding in that players who have to deal with this duality, as we were speaking about, players who only know one country as their home, but their heritage is from another. We've dealt with that all our lives. This is nothing new. This duality doesn't come with success. It doesn't come with pulling on a national team jersey. It becomes, and why I say it's cowardly is because it now becomes easy to blame him because he has this dual citizenship or this duality of identity. It becomes very cowardly in blaming Mesut Özil. And you expect so much more from anybody associated with a club like Bayern Munich, who, in my mind, and just seems like one of the best-run football clubs in the world. So to have Uli Hoeneß be this reckless with his comments, be this cowardly with what he has to say, it has me aghast and no real surprise to see Mesut Özil react the way that he has, even putting out this statement before Uli Hoeneß had to react.
Stevie, you were tweeting about this. This got you fired up as well.
Well, Uli Hoeneß has just been a complete and utter hypocrite. You know, this whole thing questioning Ozil's commitment to his country. Uli Hoeneß is a guy who was put in jail. He was put in jail for fraud. And basically the fraud was against his own country. And then somehow he's back at Bayern Munich as the president. I mean, why? This is what we should be talking about. We shouldn't be talking about Ozil. 92 caps. Do you understand how committed you have to be as a player to earn 92 caps for your country? And not only did he go 92 times, he brought back a World Cup. And because of this, the way we live, it's all political correctness now. And because of that, a guy who should be a legend in Germany for what he did on the field is going to be remembered now because of this nonsense. That's ridiculous.
The amazing thing is, and you know, just watching the show yesterday and Ralf Honigstein talking about the failure at the World Cup. I mean, and maybe his picture with Erdogan being making it for an unnecessarily toxic dressing room. If that pictures the difference between you defending the World Cup and going out in the group stage, then I'm sorry, it's a desperately weak dressing room. The photo he had absolutely nothing to do with Germany's failure. And again, it's cowardly to look for that easy an excuse for that big a failure. And it's cowardly to pick on somebody because of that duality.